Well, Charlie, when we left, it was 5:24 on the clock, and magically there's 8 minutes left. And that's because we had the camcorder on pause. So instantaneously, we're back here 5 minutes later to bring you the second half action. It's 31-17. The Hastings Yellow Jackets are on top. And Charlie, why don't you give us the scoring for the first half?
Well, Simon Skrelja had 10 points, Danny Blake 9, George Skrelja 7, and the Secru brothers contributed with 2 apiece. For Rhinebeck, Stephen Trifoletti had his 1,000th career point. He's got 9 on the night. Rob Ahn has 3, and Tim Hanway has 4. This is Simon Skrelja. Kicks it back, and Blake for 3. No good.
Looked like Bash got pushed there. Who's that? It's Mike Segura. Looks like Mike Segura got pushed in the back there.
Yeah, he definitely did. So Hastings keeps the ball.
Hastings celebrity Pete Capuano in attendance for the ball game tonight. He owns Greenleaf Pharmacy. He's the guy.
Know that.
Yeah, he's the guy you want to get all your drugs from if you're in Hastings.
Here's Blake.
That's legalized drugs.
Jim Segru. Down low is Simon. Clock running out. Simon can't hit.
A little too strong for Simon off the glass there, but, you know, a good job getting open underneath.
Trifoletti loses it. Simon all alone.
Oh, I thought he was going to dunk it. Simon's dunked twice this year already. I figured that was number 3 in the game. But just a clean pick of Trifoletti right there.
Well, that's Simon's 3rd steal of the game. Rob on. Try and force it. Lays it off to Marciano, who puts it in. You know, it almost seems like Rhinebeck came into this game overestimating Hastings. You know, they were trying to do anything they could and force things to happen instead of playing their normal game. Maybe
yeah, that's definitely a good point. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. You know, next thing they know, they looked up, they were down 31-17. Oops, I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, no, it's a good point. It looks like they're definitely pressing, you know?
Blake hits the 3.
Well, I mean, pressing is one thing, but, you know, leaving a three-point shooter open, wide open for a three-point shot just isn't the best defense in the world.
Especially one the caliber of Danny Blake.
Yeah, well, I mean, you've played him the first time. I'm not sure of Dan's statistics in the first game, what he hit for, but check the stat sheet right now. You know, he only hit for 2 points in the first game, so maybe Rhinebeck wasn't too familiar with what he was doing if they didn't do any scouting. And, you know, I do know Rhinebeck films their games, so they had their own film to look at, so maybe they didn't know Blake was such a good outside threat. But if you follow Hastings' teams at all this year, you know Danny Blake is the mad three-point bomber. Sorry about that, Charlie. I was just going to say that Hastings put a passive full-court press on, not being too aggressive with it, just trying to lay back and let Rhinebeck commit the mistake, which they almost did there.
Jim Segru hits the long 2.
Now, if Jimmy Segru gets untracked, we're going to see a blowout in a hurry. Because they'll be starting to hit on all cylinders. You know, they got Blake hitting from the outside, Simon Skrelja hitting from the inside. They got the ace in the hole, George Skrelja, and then if Jimmy Segru gets untracked, forget about it.
This is Trifoletti. Can't connect. Grab the rebound. Lay it up, no good. And now Hastings has it. Well, that's been the story of the night. Rhinebeck, no matter how good the chances are, just can't put it in. Blake misses the 3, gets his own rebound, now loses it. And Hahn fires it up. This is Desi O'Mara, and an offensive foul.
So good transition basketball there, but you know, if you're Ryan, I don't know if that's exactly the kind of up and down game you want to play. You know, you want to. I think, you know, if you're Ryan, you want to force Hastings into some bad shots, grab the rebound, and then run down and try and score. But that up and down game without playing good, solid defense is not going to get him back in the ball game.
This is George Skrelja. Hastings was doing a nice job of moving the ball around. Triffletti turns it over.
Yeah, you know what, though? I think they got a little fancy there. You know, they tried to dump it in real quick, the no-look pass down below. You know what? You have a big lead. You're up by 19 points. It's 38-19. Just work the ball around, get a good shot. And, you know, if it's not a layup or if the shot clock isn't winding down, you don't shoot the basketball. There's no reason to turn it over there under those circumstances. You know what I'm saying, Charlie? You know, just basically you just work the ball around. You just work the ball around. If you get a layup, you take it. Otherwise, you let the shot clock run down to 5 seconds, then you haul up a 3.
Hey, just keep eating up the clock. With a 19-point lead, you have the liberty to do that.
You know, especially a 35-second shot clock. That's a lot of time.
Hahn once again can't connect. Rebound isn't put home either. I don't know what it is with Rob Hahn. He's taking a lot of shots. Seems like he's setting up all right. He just can't hit any of them.
You know, I think the difference, you know, he's going to hit the weight room. The difference between him and George Skrelja, I mean, besides the fact George is 6'4", but it just, he's a big, strong kid. It's effortless for him to launch up a 3. You know, it's just very smooth. There's no effort involved as far as the strength goes, and that makes a big difference, I think. That's Blake bombing away from 3 again.
Yeah, he's got 5 3-pointers on the night for all his 15 points. I tell you though, Keith, the way Hastings works the ball around is so smooth, it's so impressive. And then they have these guys that can just hit like that.
Well, yeah, I think that's the key to the Hastings team this year. They have a star. They have Simon Skrelja, averages 20 points a game. It's top 15 in the entire county. There's no, you know, there's only 14 players scoring more points than him. But at the same token, he's not the focal point of the offense. He gets his points within the offense. He gets them on offensive rebounds. He gets them cutting and slashing to the basket. You know, like right there when he just grabbed that offensive rebound and kicked it back out. You know, that's where he's going to get his points. It's not that they're constantly feeding him the basketball. So if they can do that, if he can play within the framework of the team, it's very difficult for, you know, any other team to shut them down because they're always moving the ball. They're so fluid on offense.
Segru with the runner won't go. And the Jackets turn it over.
You know, Simon's one of those guys where, you know, you watch him play the game. There are a lot of flashy players out there. There are a lot of dominant players out there, you know, that are going to score 20, 25 a night. And then, you know, they're the type of players like Simon where you hear about him before the game. Oh, Simon Skrelja averaging 20.2 points a game, you know, tops in the county, one of the, you know, leading scorer in Class C. You say to yourself after the game was over, he didn't do much. He was involved in the flow of the game, but I didn't even really notice a lot of times he was even on the court. You look at the stat sheet, he scored 24 points. You're like, how did he do it? You know, it's a very quiet 24, but it's a very effective 24. You know, like, for example, tonight, you know, he's got 12 of the 41 points, and all you're going to remember from tonight's game is Dan Blake bombing from the outside. You know, you don't realize that, you know, he was the second leading scorer to date. I mean, you know, they might take him out of the game. They're up 41-20, so they're up 21 points. He might not get much more playing time tonight, but, you know, it's a very quiet 12 points so far, but a very effective 12.
Yeah, that's why he's such a special player.
Exactly.
And that's the kind of player that goes places.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's definitely got the skills to play college basketball somewhere. The only thing that might hurt him at the higher levels is his height at 6'1". But other than that, he's a good player.
Traveling calls against Ryan. Nothing going right for them.
Yeah, they're down 23 with 2:27 left in the third quarter. And Delabovi looks to put in a couple of subs.
classic Hastings Dynamite cheer.
One of Coach Vaccara's favorite cheers. The ooh-ah cheer is his favorite one. I knew you were about to ask that one, Charlie, so I beat you to the punch.
I was actually going to ask what yours was.
My favorite cheer is any cheer.
Here's Skrelja. Nice, strong move to the basket. With 2 minutes to go in the third, Jackets up by 25. Loose ball. Went out of bounds.
Nice hustle by Jimmy Segru. You know, the guy's up 25 points. He's diving on the floor for a loose ball. You know, with $1:46 left in the third quarter. That just shows you what kind of player he is.
Yeah, well, I think that's exactly what Simon Skrelja was talking about before the game, and that they gotta have no letdowns.
Yeah, no, exactly. And they haven't let down so far. I mean, there's still another quarter to play. But so far, they've done exactly what Simon wanted to do, and that's play intense and hard the whole time.
George with a nice steal. And in comes number 12 for Hastings.
Simon checks out of the ball game. That might be it for him tonight. Speak much? That might be it for him tonight.
It's Colin Powers. Hastings working around. Shot won't go.
Josh Schneider's the player who checked in for Skrelja.
Is Marciano. Trifoletti drives hard into the hole. They can't put it home.
In the ball game now for the Yellow Jackets, it looks like you got George Skrelja out there, along with Joe Flattery. And
You got Colin Powers.
Colin Powers out there handling the ball.
Richie Salinaro.
And Richie Salinaro. And who else?
Hey, George, yeah.
George for 2, won't go.
All right, Rich. All right, Rich.
Nice steal. And pass. Salinaro for 2.
All right, George.
George grabs rebound.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Is Schneider.
That is Chris Skrelja in the game. I didn't recognize him out there. Last time I saw him, he was in 6th grade. You can't blame me for not recognizing him. That's... Yeah. We got Chris and George out there, the brothers Skrelja.
So you telling me there's a third brother Skrelja?
All right, Joey.
Yeah, well, there's... How many Skreljas are there? We have Mrs. Skrelja right in front of us in the stands.
Hastings is fortunate they live in this town.
Hey, 3 seconds.
2 seconds to go. Throws up the shot. Almost hit it.
So that's the end of 3 quarters of play, with Hastings up 45-20. They got more Skreljas than we can count. I gotta start taking off my shoes and socks. Count up all the Skreljas. We got the parents Skreljas, we got the brothers Skreljas, we got all Skreljas in the gym. The gym's full of Skreljas. Skreljas for everyone. We got everybody here. Chris Skrelja wearing number 20. George wearing 21. Simon 31. Simon's cousin of the 2 Skrelja brothers, Chris and George. Chris, only a freshman. He's in 9th grade. I saw Chris play a lot, and throughout his CYO career, we broadcast a couple of games that he did.